Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I've got the follow-up video for you here, just so you know you're watching the right one. I just shown this K-Bar TDI and Skeletal from Leatherman, and now we're going to talk about this system. I wanted to shoot it in a separate video because I think it deserves its own spot in the limelight. It was a really complicated system to build, and I think it came out looking just super beautiful. I'm really happy with this thing, so I thought you guys might enjoy it, and I want to gab a little bit longer about this than I did about the other ones. So alright, what we have here is a piggyback system where both the knives are wrapped in leather. We have a leather dangler, and the dangler is a breakaway, meaning you can separate it. The piggyback is also a breakaway, meaning you can separate it, and I've done it on a universal Tek-Lok adapter. So this thing is carrying its own Tek-Lok, meaning as soon as you pull this off, you can put it directly onto your belt and begin to wear it as its own independent carry. So this is a super convenient thing. This is built for Tek-Loks, so it's going to work with basically anything that you have a Tek-Lok on. You can use like so. And just to give you a quick, sorry, it's hard to remove just the Tek-Lok alone because you don't have any of the other stuff to grip onto like you do with the knife. But just to show you, I can put this whole setup. I mean, it's ridiculous, but check that out. Just the fact that it's that easy to swap out your gear. You decide you want a different knife to piggyback on there, boom, you got that. So this actually, man, the color combination is actually really nice too. I like Highlander tying that all together. That's very cool. So anyway, you can see how versatile that is. That is an incredibly versatile. It's an incredibly versatile thing to have on your sheath. And the new design that I'm doing, I know it looks, I've been joking around calling it SpongeBob's diaper because Tek-Lok kind of looks like SpongeBob. But anyway, this newer design that I have is shorter and just allows it to fit on smaller profile knives, so it looks a little bit more natural. You can see that it's a Pancake Design, and these are, I want to say 3 inches or 2.5 inches or something. No, it's got to be 3 inches. It's 3 inches apart, which is standard spacing for Tek-Loks, and these are 3/4 of an inch apart, which means that if you wanted to switch and carry this knife in a vertical position instead of horizontal, you can take the Tek-Lok off, orient it 90 degrees this way, take the adapter off, orient it 90 degrees this way, and all of a sudden you'll be able to plug your sheath in like this rather than like this. So this thing is just kind of packed full of extra benefits, but I think you'll find if you tried something out like this out that it's secure enough to hold your piggyback on there, but also gives you really easy access to separating it out and being able to carry something a little bit smaller, maybe around the campsite or whatever you want to do with it. Like I had said, the dangler is also a breakaway. It does take quite a bit of pressure to do it. Part of the reason is because you don't want to be able to just have your dangler, you know, if you're walking along and your knife snags on something, you don't want it to just pop loose. So it does take, you know, full disclosure, a fair bit of force. I haven't actually measured it out, but I would say, you know, probably 100 pounds or so. Something like 45 kilos. So anyway, that's the breakaway dangler. While it is a little bit difficult to operate, I think it serves an incredible function and gives you a lot of versatility with your gear. So basically the whole draw for this sort of thing is that if you want to be able to just downgrade your sheath, you would leave the leather loop attached to your belt. You don't have to undo your belt to take off your sheath. You can just pop this free and then lose the weight of this. Maybe you're doing it just to carry your smaller knife. Who knows? But it does give you some more options. So for accessories on this, we have an Exotac fire rod. And Nathan, I'm going to tell you right now, the shock cord kind of gets in the way when you try to slide this back on. So before you reattach your Escobar, just remove that shock cord and then seat it all the way down. slide this back over, easy as pie. So the Exotac fire rod, my favorite ferro rod. It is just excellent quality. It's got a tinder capsule in the back here, watertight. It's got a little gasket, so you can stuff some cotton or fire starter or whatever inside the back of this, and then your rod itself can unscrew and be replaced. So when you use that up, you've got a nice handle. You can buy a rod. It costs a little bit less to buy the rod itself than it does to buy the whole apparatus, and you can just keep replacing your rods as you need them. So really nice system. We have a ceramic rod down below, and I've built a holder so that it exposes a large portion of the rod, so that if you wanted to do some field sharpening, you can do that without having to remove the rod from the sheath. If you ever do decide you need to remove the rod, whether for convenience or because you need to replace it or whatever, you can slide it out. It's in there really sturdy though, so it's not just going to fall out on its own. Alright, so we got that. And then of course on the back here we have an SE-AH1 arrowhead. So this thing is in a holder that you can see doesn't have a lot of definition. That's intentional, and the reason is because with the aggressive points facing back out toward the opening of the sheath, and with the fact that it's in a kind of cramped location on the back, I want it to be really easy to access, very smooth, so that if you're in that emergency situation where you're just trying to get things done as fast as possible to increase your chance of survival, you're going to be able to very smoothly access that. You're not going to have to fight with your gear to use your gear. So, alright, that's pretty much the sheath in a nutshell. The draw on both of these knives is extremely smooth. You've got really good retention with them. Good clicks going back in. There's no rattle, no play. You're hearing the leather creak a little bit. And then as far as the colors go, we got whip texture Kydex. It's sort of a black, leathery looking Kydex. And then I used a walnut brown and a medium brown blend to make this color of the leather. You can see I've done black edge coat all along the edges, obviously, which is kind of like it's a little bit of an enamel, so it gives it a soft finish, or sorry, a smooth finish, but it also kind of shines and lets the border pop a little bit. And then I also, per Nathan's request, wrinkled the leather a bit. It's called distressing your leather. He asked for fully distressed leather. He'd sent me a picture of some other project that had it done on it, and I think I'm not quite there as far as getting the fully distressed look to be, you know, super worn the way it was on that picture, but you can definitely see the wrinkles on it. It looks a little bit worn and aged, and over time it's going to increase even more. So I had wrinkled it before adhering it to the Kydex, and then when I started putting it on the Kydex, it started smoothing out again, and as I added the wax and whatnot, it actually smoothed out a little bit more. So I'm a little bit surprised the leather bounced back the way it did, but like I said, over time this is going to wear a little bit more. So anyway, close-up look so you guys can see that kind of seamless transition from leather to Kydex. I think this came out looking really nice. I'm very happy with this. I hope Nathan is too. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you guys have any input, criticisms, feedback of any kind, I'm more than happy to hear all of it. So let me know what you guys think of that. Let me know what you think of the Breakaway dangler. Let me know what you think of the universal Tek-Lok adapter. I know you guys have been commenting a lot on similar designs that I've posted recently, so I appreciate all the feedback, guys. I really love getting the conversations going, so let me know if you guys have any experience with Pathfinder Knife Shop, any of their gear. They have kind of like an arrowhead type thing, or spear point, I think they call it. They have a few different really nice knives. Originally we were actually going to do the Black Bear, but apparently it was sold out. The PKS Black Bear was sold out, so Nathan bought the Grizzly. And it kind of worked out because this is a little bit bigger than the Black Bear and made this setup a little more comfortable rather than having everything cramped on there. So let me know what you guys think of PKS if you've used any of their stuff. I've been extremely impressed with what little bit of exposure I've had to them. And then of course we have this knife from Essie and K-Bar collaboration. It looks a lot like the Azula. So I'd love your thoughts on that sucker, especially if you've used one. But let's get some combos going down below. Let me know what you think of this gear. So like, share, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys sticking around for my rambling, and tune in for the next one. God bless.